Well, the redevelopment of the flea market has huge implications for the city of San Jose and many communities within San Jose. It's such a big piece of property that whatever happens there is going to have ripple effects for really miles beyond that specific site. So all the neighborhoods around it need to be concerned about what happens there. Of course, if BART actually develops there, that transforms our transportation system in the valley. So we need to be very concerned about that. But the other piece that I think people are concerned about, certainly I am, is what happens to the institution of the flea market, the social, political, economic, really social and economic institution of the flea market. It's a very, very big operation. Lots of people, thousands, millions a year, I don't know, but certainly hundreds of thousands a year go there. It's an economic institution that's an entryway for a lot of new immigrants to this city from within the United States or outside. If it goes, and if we aren't able to move it someplace else, we really lose all that. Because the people who sell there now and the people who shop there now aren't going to go to Santana Row and Valley Fair. That's not an option. So we really need to be conscious, I think, about that impact on our community as well.
The flea market vendors have their lives on the line, and so therefore it doesn't take much for them to basically get motivated, right? I think a lot of times when organizing it's sort of difficult because it's not so black and white. In this case, if they close the flea market and they don't find another location, then they're out of their livelihoods, out of their jobs, out of their businesses. And so I think they see that very clearly, and I think we all see that very clearly, that there needs to be some assurances for the vendors. It's pretty much almost a done deal. The flea market is going to get developed. There were previous decisions that were made, but unfortunately what they didn't touch on was that there was no public outreach to the vendors. And so our main goal was to get it out into the media, get people informed, and we've been able to accomplish that to this point. So that raises some serious concerns, and also it's sort of like telling somebody, you should have participated even though we didn't tell you about it.
This is important to you, and this is important for the city of San Jose. We're not trying to stop development. We just want sustainable development. We want just development. We want environmentally sensitive development. We want development for the people. All right, so let's go inside.
Todo el proyecto que ustedes están presentando, el dueño de la Flea Market, está muy bien, pero también que piensen en nosotros, que piensen en el futuro de nuestros hijos, porque ese es el sostenimiento para podernos ayudarnos. Y yo no estoy pidiendo welfare, yo no pido nada al gobierno, yo solamente quiero trabajar.
En eso se acercó un señor y me dijo, ¿crees que vendiendo nopales vas a sobresalir? Y me dio mucha risa porque dije, vendiendo nopales es mi porvenir.
And actually, a man approached me and he said, you think selling cactus you're going to get ahead? And it was a very funny comment because actually, in fact, selling cactus is how my family and I have gotten ahead.
A question for Joe. Joe, if we, just to make it clear the context within which we're working, if we were to refuse the applicant's general plan amendment, the owner of the land could still bulldoze the flea market tomorrow. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and if we approve the general plan amendment, the owner could bulldoze the flea market tomorrow.
That's correct.
So whatever decision we make today has no impact on the ability of the owner to do whatever they want with the flea market.
That's correct.
And certainly the irony wasn't lost on me that we're spending billions of dollars trying to create more vibrant commercial centers in the downtown and at Santana Row and everywhere else when we have the most vibrant commercial center in the Bay Area right here at La Pulga. But it doesn't change the fact that that decision isn't before us, and no decision we can make is going to affect the owner's decision about what they want to do with this land. So with that, I would make a motion to approve.
San Jose's oldest and largest flea market is one step closer to losing its home tonight after a preliminary vote by the City Council last night approving a plan to turn the location into a residential and commercial transit complex.
so the beer carts was just a natural thing. And he thought, well, if I'm selling this amount of beer, I'll bet I can double it up by taking it to them right where they're walking or right where they're sitting and selling it to them right there.
Well, I started working here when I was 16. I think that was 1998 or 99. One of my friends told me, hey, you should come to work with me over here at the flea market, at the snack bars. But then they brought me to the sellers crew, which is the crew that's in charge of enforcing the rules in the flea market. It's a small group of 5 or 6 guys. And then about 2 years ago, I became the supervisor. We divide the flea market into 4 areas. So right now we're gonna be walking into the east. The east is mostly concentrated on daily vendors. You know, vendors that come for one day and then they might not come back. The compound is more like daily vendors and monthly vendors. Monthly vendors, you know, they stay in the same space for a month. The west is mostly concentrated of monthly vendors. People have been there for many years. Towards the middle of the flea market, the center is called furniture area, because that's where most of the furniture vendors concentrate.
Bueno, tenemos alrededor de 11 años y el motivo por la cual estamos aquí fue para salir de la competencia en la ciudad de Los Ángeles. Últimamente, de unos 2, 3 años o 4 años para acá, ha disminuido el negocio. No me gustaría que lo cerraran. Sí hemos estado y sí tenemos conocimiento de que se va a cerrar la flea market. Todo este tipo de mercados no deberían de desaparecer porque ayuda, aparte de que ayuda a mucha gente, se desestresa a la gente al venir a trabajar aquí o al venir a ver. Y digo, no nos gustaría que, al contrario, que hubiera más oportunidades, de que hubiera más lugares abiertos como este tipo, para que la gente tuviera este tipo de convivencia con los vendedores y compradores.
This is one of the new trends right here in the flea market, like Peruvian stuff, Central American items. And this is the cantina right here. Whenever they play soccer, people gather here because there's TV screens, so you get a big crowd of people. This is a chuck wagon, perhaps the best place to get chicken and ribs. If you see some of the aerial photographs, you could actually see that the slide. Like this is like part of San Jose history, and once they close it, you know, it's no more. This is Produce Road. Right now we're standing near one of its ends. This place, even when it's a rainy day schedule, you still have people coming to buy their produce. I believe the vendors on Produce Road are gonna hit the hardest when the flea market closes, because they made a lot of money out of this place.
Well, I'm from Jerusalem. I'm Palestinian. Well, I sell sports clothing, sweater, band, jeans, stuff. To be honest with you, the business changed. It's now, before it was very, very good business. Sometime, like before 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock, it's going to be maximum 1 o'clock, the market is full. We hear like the bracket lot is closed. That's, you imagine, it's 70,000 people already in San Jose Flea Market. I mean, I speak Spanish. I'm not Mexican, but this is my school, the flea market.
Well, this is Outer Row. This is where the flea market had its major festivals. I mean, we still have festivals once in a while, like the kids fair and then the crafts fair, but we don't have that many festivals as before.